All right, the Reds, talking Reds from Liverpool. Someone's blocked the main road to Liverpool from the north end of the city. Thanks for that. I had a fucking nightmare getting in today. So, after flying, after beating Manchester United, I'm fuming now. So thanks for that.
It's okay, man.
It's not. Fix the roads.
I'm still alright because I came from the other direction.
South Enders are alright. North Enders today are having a nightmare. I think a lorry turned over last night, but why they're still sorting it out this morning, I'm not quite sure. How long does it take? Come on. Anyway, Naby Keita's alright.
yeah.
We were all getting a bit worried, weren't we? We beat Man United 5-0. We've all been on cloud nine. We've been ripping the Manx. We've been enjoying doing the content. We got stuck into every aspect of beating Manchester United 5-0 because that does not come around often. But now we're starting to think, well, who plays against Preston?
Yeah.
And who's playing at the weekend? And how do we sort all of this out? So a few people are getting a little bit worried about basically having no midfielders. But good news on Naby, it seems.
It is. I think the other thing about it, being Naby in particular, is that it's really hard to kind of, like, he's got this reputation of obviously being injury prone, and every time he goes to the ground, everyone kind of holds their breath or kind of makes a sly joke about it. But it must be really hard for him. But
it's hard for him, defo, yeah.
I mean, the physios came on in that game. I rewatched the game this morning, by the way. I very much recommend all of you do that as often as possible. The physio came on 4 times in the game. 3 of them were for Naby. So you are thinking that...
To be fair, he was playing well and he was involved in everything. He scored a goal, he set up a goal, he was pressing high, he was involved in a lot of Liverpool's attack and play, and it seemed to me that they just started to, United started to take out the frustrations on him, basically.
It was because he was doing to them what they couldn't do to us, and so they decided to target him. But like, from an unluckiness point of view, you've got to be sitting there if you're him thinking, what the hell is this? But according to, there's a piece out this morning in The Athletic from James Pearce and Simon Hughes together, and apparently because Pogba's weight-bearing leg didn't go through him, it kind of bounced rather than went through it with force.
Bruised shin, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah. So
he's standing up in the dressing room. He didn't leave on crutches. And fingers crossed he's going to be all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing Preston. He probably won't play weekend either. But again, it's not going to be forever. And I think from that piece as well, we can say the same about Fabinho. I think it was more that they said that they didn't expect him to be able to play for a week. And that was after the game at Atletico. So obviously he's probably not going to be playing Preston. But again, the weekend will be sound.
Someone asks if Ollie was driving the lorry. I mean, Ollie at the wheel of anything is not good. Who knows? Maybe Ollie was driving the lorry and maybe it's his revenge on Liverpool. I mean, he doesn't like us, does he? So, this is sort of like, this is his nightmare. His darkest day, I think he said after the game. And glorious.
There are so many things to enjoy about it. And one thing that hadn't really occurred to me until, again, I was rewatching the game and I was poring over some stuff, and you notice that he's very, very bad at making in-game changes. I mean, fair enough, when you're 4-0 down at half-time, chances are the horse has bolted. But in other games where they're behind, because we talk about them coming back from behind, and so I've looked at some of the games. It's like, is it all of these magical tactical changes? No, it's the same people doing something good, or the referee bailing them out. So he doesn't do any in-game changes. But let's think back to what he was like as a player. He was Mr. Super Sub, wasn't he? And if you see all the interviews, he always just talk about how I watched the game from the bench, so I knew exactly what to do when I come on and what weakness is. It's like, why aren't you doing that as a manager? That's literally your job.
I'm sorry with it.
I mean, I'm glad, but like, if I was a United fan, then I would be asking those questions. And there's I saw a video of one of the United fans watch along during the game, and I kind of logged onto it thinking, this is going to be funny, they're going to be all mad. They weren't mad. They were just sad. They were just like, they scored again. They scored again.
And they expected it. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew. They didn't know 5-0 was coming, but they knew that Liverpool were coming and likely leaving with the 3 points. But even like, the cheerleaders, if you like, even like their content producers, their version of this, I watched some of that and I thought there's no conviction at all here. It was all kind of like, the best they had was well, you know, Ollie sometimes pulls out a result when you don't think he's going to get one. And it was like, that doesn't really sound like a plan, lads. I've got to be honest with you. That just sounds like that's the best I can come up with.
That's the thing, though, is that it's like, and how does he do that exactly? Like, you tell me what Ollie's plan is. And if any Man United fan can tell me what Ollie's plan is, then I'd be like to know, because they don't have one. Everything they do is based on hubris. And that's why it's so enjoyable to watch, because we've talked about the fact that they didn't need to sign Ronaldo, and signing one player has ruined about 3 or 4 others. But
it's just the way he hates everyone as well, isn't it? Like he doesn't get on with Greenwood. It looks like he's fuming about Greenwood. Did you see the naughtiness yesterday? I really enjoyed this. I love when someone on the internet creates something and like everyone goes, whoa, look at that. And like this thing got shared to fuck. Did you see it? And it was basically like, it was Ronaldo in the Liverpool game, like sort of going like this and going.
Oh no, yeah, I did see that.
And then someone had paired that side by side with like Solskjaer giving instructions, and it looked like Ronaldo was being really disrespectful to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The problem was the first clip of Ole. It was an old kit. Lingard was coming on as a sub, and he didn't even play against us, and it was like. But loads of people had just gone, look at that, that's funny.
I saw a video just isolated of Ronaldo's reactions to the goals, which, again, if you can find it, please do. But the interesting thing for me is he's doing all these hand gestures, he's doing all this, they should do this, and if only people listen to me. But he was standing on his own in the middle of the pitch doing it. He wasn't going and saying it to any of his teammates. He was doing it so the fans and the TV cameras could see, this is what I would have done. Well, do it then. But anyway, we're not here to get angry about Manchester United.
We're here to get angry about lorries.
No, yeah, but also, as I said on Friday's show, they are not our problem anymore. Like, in rewatching the game this morning, I had some fun with it. And I just wanted to look at some of the goals and stuff. And we talked about the fact that they had their chance just before our first goal. I looked at it in forensic detail. Like, there's exactly a minute between Fernandes having his shot and the move that starts our goal. It's a move, 13 passes, everybody touches the ball except Trent, 30 seconds, and it's a goal. And no one on a red shirt gets anywhere near them. And the amount of times I was just watching the first half because I knew I was going to have to leave. I didn't know what lorries were going to get involved. I've watched the whole match. But so many times Liverpool just had so much time and space in the ball. Like 20 pass moves, 25 pass moves. Like before the third goal, there was a 29 pass move that they just about stopped Salah getting in for. And then 10 seconds later, we win the ball back and it's bang, 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 goal. They had no plan of what we were doing. And when you think about all of the things we were saying about this Liverpool team when it was going wrong earlier this year, it's like, it's the same guys playing the same system, everyone's worked it all out, blah, blah, blah. There is so much data about Liverpool and how we want to go about things that they could have learned, that they could have studied, that they could have planned for. And if they did, that was terrible.
I mean, what was funny was everyone ended up talking about him sucking his daughter's toes. but Paul Scholes was actually right.
He was so right
on BT Sport the other night because he sat there and like I know all the United fans are like, or some of them were fuming about him being overly negative when he was actually right. And he was just saying, Liverpool have an absolute field day if you set up like this against them. And then they set up like that against them, and then Liverpool won 5-0. And he was right. Look, he might suck his daughter's toes.
The funniest thing,
he was also right.
The funniest thing is, like, if he hadn't been right about that, people would have probably forgot about the toes thing by now. But it's because that happened, so you keep going back to the toes. Honestly, it's amazing.
I know. We'd stop talking. I mean, the toes is ming. What's all that about? We are doing a live one this morning, so I always like to read some of the comments. Let's fly through some of them. We're only doing a little short one today because the gear has to get off because the gear is going to Preston because we are doing a Preston preview. There will also be another Talking Reds tomorrow as well, so there'll be more Preston chat on that than there is on this, which is none on this, to be honest with you. So we've got Ole at the wheel for a bit longer, judging by the reports this morning, says John McLean. Well, I just heard that Conte apparently is being sounded out on the way in there. We shall see. Naby uses Mo's tash as shinnies.
I mean, if he does, then that's part of the problem.
Tremendous. We've got Minamino should get 90 minutes against Preston. Yeah, I would imagine so. Did well, to be fair, against Norwich, didn't he? And then he's not had a sniff really since. The Wolfman's got Nard's regular commenter, Aya Mate. He says, how big is Konate? Fred trying to climb up him while he was laughing at him is just the best. Yeah, superb. Love that.
I loved Konate's whole game, and I love the fact that he is now forever a part of that game. Because it's almost like we've heard about the fact that, yes, he's integrated well and he seems to get on with everyone. He seems like a nice fella and all that kind of stuff. The kind of things you always hear them say, but there's nothing like being there in the dressing room after a game like that while everyone's a bit like, yeah, you know what, this is momentous. This is one we're all going to remember, and you were there and you played a part. That's going to make him feel so much a part of the team. Although, I do wonder what Joe Gomez is thinking.
Yeah, someone's just put here about Joe Gomez. Says Tim Park says, have you seen the reports of Gomez complaining about lack of game time? Do we believe it, or do we just think it's tabloid bollocks? I mean, I haven't seen the report, 1, but 2, I imagine the reports exist, and 3, it wouldn't be the biggest leap if he was unhappy, because, you know, him and Virgil were like bezies, weren't they? And we were all talking about him being one of the best defenders in England. He was involved in the England setup. And now it appears like his star is hugely fallen right now. And
also, I think the England part is really important, because you see some players, cough, cough, Soames John, who are able to play for England despite the fact they're not playing for their club at all. Whereas Gomez has been in great form for his club, playing every game and not been picked. And has also been injured on England duty on more than one occasion. So he's done everything they've asked of him. Sometimes they sent it back broken. Sometimes they don't even want him at all. So if he is thinking, maybe I need to move somewhere else and put myself in a bigger spotlight, then I understand it. I don't like it though, Joe. I don't like it.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Stick with us. We like you. We like you. We love you. We know you can do a job. And we're going for every trophy there is to go for this season. We're going to try and win the league. You'll get a game. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You will get a game. Remember what happened last season. We don't want that to happen again, obviously. I did like as well, we'll wrap up, but I did like a tweet from Dan Kennett where he was just, I mean, he's obviously loving it the same as we all are right now. But he was doing all this, like, you know, like Milner greater than McTominay, you know what I mean? Like all of these like sort of fringy players at Liverpool, comparing them to people who were supposedly first team for Man United. And to be honest, he was right. Because Fred's shit, McTominay's shit, Harry Maguire's shit, Solskjaer's shit. Man United are in an absolute state. They've been swatted 5-0 by Liverpool. The biggest win at Old Trafford in our lifetimes. They don't know what to do next. They haven't even got a good manager lined up, even if they do get rid of Ole. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? It's fucking brilliant. Let's be honest with you. It's fucking brilliant. And if you haven't got onto the Anfield Wrap's content around this game, do go and get on it. Download the app. You get some free tokens. You can go and watch and listen to our content from that game. We're getting loads of lovely comments. Loads of people enjoyed it. It was wild content, I've got to be honest with you. The stuff on the bus was absolutely madness.
One thing I wanted to say, right? I have always supported your withdrawal of the get-in because you want to make it special. And this is exactly why.
The biggest get-in ever.
Exactly. When I saw it, I was just like, yes, this is what you mean. So yeah, for all those people who are upset when it went away, this is why. We have to make it special.
That's it. You know, I can't generate huge get-ins when we've beaten Norwich in the League Cup because they're shit and it's the League Cup. But Man United away when we've won 5-0, I found some get-ins for you. So go and watch the get-ins if you like the get-ins. There's get-in mugs now as well if you like get-ins. So buy a get-in mug. Buy a Mo t-shirt if you're lucky because they're selling like friggin' hotcakes. And Tom is just in a mine of t-shirts behind that camera, putting stuff in bags and sending it off. The posties fuming with them. But yeah, crack on. Fuck lorries, up the Reds, fuck Man United. Watch all the stuff, listen to all the stuff, write stuff. I don't know. I'm tired. Up the Reds.